We're going to discuss the four Arupa or formless jhanas. They're called formless because they are concentrations upon things that are not part of the physical universe. The first of them is to contemplate space as infinite, and it sounds brief and simple, but to sit there for hours and contemplate space as infinite until you um, well, now of course they're assuming that you've already attained the first four jhanas as well, the form jhanas or rupa jhanas. They assume you've achieved the first, second, third, and fourth jhanas, and that you are now taking that perfect concentration that you gained by the time you had attained the fourth jhana, and you're contemplating. You're using that power of concentration to contemplate space as infinite, and then consciousness as infinite. And then there's also a view of the world which is that everything is unreal, that everything is just sort of unreal and floating in a sea of possibilities, and that our consciousness is only appears to be there um, because of the various laws of the universe that make it seem as if we are caught within this sort of collection of dharmas and things that makes up our time space reality, our galaxy, our universe. And this is a contemplation of all of that being unreal, being void of any core, because it's not it's not eternal. Everything changes. Nothing really exists. And so this is basically this is the contemplation of nothingness, just wiping the mind clean of all thought, and just actually seeing that things, from one point of view at least, are not real, as I understand it. And then beyond that, there's a state where you've kind of come through the void to a level even beyond it, where you're aware that nothing's real, but then you're aware that things actually are real. You're conscious, you're not conscious, you exist, you don't exist. This is the basically the eighth of the jhanas, if you count the first four, and then here 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then beyond this there is nirvana, which actually the Buddha studied with teachers, and the first of them brought him up to the void, the nothing exists, the unreality of things, brought him up to that seventh level. And then the next teacher that he studied with, more briefly, added on to that this eighth stage of consciousness, but they weren't aware of how to go beyond and to reach nirvana. And so that's what the Buddha then. Well, then he went into a number of years of being an ascetic, very intense ascetic practices, and he almost died from those practices, and still did not attain enlightenment, according to whatever his expectation was. He knew he hadn't yet attained it, and so he ate some food, and then he went and he attained enlightenment and reached through to nirvana. And so in the next video we're going to take a look at nirvana and what we know about that, and some things that need to occur in order for that level to be reached. and we'll take it from there. Thanks.